Hi guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. My name's Lucy, and today we're not back for more stitching, we're back for kind of unboxing and a how I prep for a new start, a new cross stitch project start video. So I really hope that it's gonna be useful for you guys, for any beginners that might not know how to prep and what might be useful to do and stuff like that. So we're gonna jump into it. So first of all, you need a chart. Usually it starts from there. Well, you have a chart, or yeah, a chart, you like a chart and you purchase it or you make it, and then you have to order or to buy everything that you need to start it, right? So the start that I'm gonna have is the one that I made, the chart that I made for the pixel stitch sorry, for the pixel stitch tutorial video, which is this one. And it is beautiful, and like you can see, there are all my colors, and there the total number of stitches and the dimensions, like how many stitches wide and how many stitches high. And this is going to be super useful for the fabric that we're gonna pick and how much do we need, and every count, like you can see next to every color, is the total number of stitches that are in the chart in this particular color. And this is going to be useful for ordering your floss, because obviously you need to know how many stitches you have in each color so that you can order the right amount of skeins and or yeah, bobbins, or I don't know. So we're gonna start with the floss. Sorry. So you might have seen just there, because I only mainly stitch with only one strand, I used a thread calculator and made a little note, a little, yeah, cheat sheet, so that I can know, like according to the fabric that I'm going to use, how many stitches can I do with one skein of floss. And this is super useful. So here is the address of the website. I'm going to link it, sorry, in the description so that you can check it out. So I just documented for the when you use only one strand, basically. And I will be using 25 count, so that means that with one skein on 25 count I can do 6,030 300 stitches. So what I'm gonna do is take every number one by one and divide them by 6,000, sorry, and 300, so that I can know how many skeins of thread I need for every and each color. So this is going to be a little bit tedious to do, but it is super helpful to have everything around right at the start, and you don't have to buy more or be surprised of anything, really. So it's exactly what I did, and here you can see all the floss. Yay! So we have everything that we need regarding the floss. Now, for the fabric, well, it is kind of easy for me because 25 count is supposed to mean that you have 25 threads woven into the fabric for every inches, which means that for me, because I don't use inches, I use centimeters, it is even more easy because I just have to count 10 threads of the fabric for every centimeters, which means that if I have 400 stitches wide, it means that I have 40 centimeters wide, and this is approximately 56 centimeters high. So it is super easy to calculate for me. And well, I basically know exactly the dimensions that my picture's going to be once it's stitched. So I have ordered my fabric as well. It is Zweigart Fine Flowbat 10 threads, which is to mean, wait, yeah, 25 count basically. So that's what it is. I felt like the color and the kind of variegated texture was super interesting, and it is 70 centimeters wide for a meter high. I paid that 20 euros on universbroderie.com. This address, this website. You can check it out. I'm not sure if it's translated in English or if it's originally in English and translated into French. I have no idea, but you can still check it out. So yeah, it was pretty cheap. Like for the whole thing, I paid for around 70 euros or something like that. So it was pretty affordable. So it is a very big piece of fabric, and I will probably will have to cut it. But we're gonna do that later. So first, I'd like to concentrate on the floss and the floss storage technique that I'm using personally. So I make my own bobbins. I do wind my floss on bobbins, and this is cardboard. This is, I think, originally they are this size, and I cut them into 4, and then I just shake them with a scissor, with scissors, sorry, plural, and I think they are at the bottom of tea boxes. So yeah, but any kind of rigid cardboard, but not too rigid, like, it is kind of thick, but not that thick. Okay, so yeah, any kind like sugar boxes that are sorry, that are in cardboard can be really useful for this. I use them all the time. It is cheap, it is easy to do, a little time consuming. Okay, all right, I will say it, but I mean, yeah, I prefer doing that than buying plastic bobbins on Amazon for twice the price. Okay, so plus the shipping fees. So yeah, this is pretty good. Okay, if you're taking good care of them, and you're not like always fidgeting with them, and not you know I forgot the word, binding them. They're gonna last a pretty long time. So what do I do with those bobbins? Well, first of all, I'm gonna take this again, okay, and I'm gonna work in columns because I feel like it's going to be a little bit easier. So we're gonna start with writing the DMC reference, because this is all DMC floss. So I'm gonna write DMC 14. All right, then I'm gonna write, and this you can do with mechanical pencil, like a pencil, charcoal, cause when you're finished with your project, then you can erase the symbol that you were working with on this particular chart, and use the bobbin again for a different symbol, and you don't have to just like erase it, or well, you don't have to scribble on it or anything like this. But I don't have any mechanical pencil, in there, so I'm just going to go at it, mark an A, because it is the A symbol. And so now I'm going to take my little bag of floss, and I'm gonna search for the 14. I think there are 4, so yeah, there they are. So if you don't know how to I was really struggling with how to take out floss from the skein and not ruin it or make knots and stuff. So you just have to remove the 2 little cylinders thingies, and you see this tail. This tail, you need to note that it is there. Then try to split into your skein, and you can see there isn't like, it was like this, but I don't have threads going like this. I don't know if it is very clear, but yeah, you need to have a perfect round circle. Any threads going around in awkward places isn't going to be good. Then like, wear it as a kind of bracelet, just leave it there for a sec, and then you're gonna put it like this on your bobbin and hold it with your thumb, and you can start winding. And you can see that I don't have any knots at all, because it is just making rounds around my wrist, right? So I'm just going to wind it gently. I'm not pulling like a madwoman, okay? I'm just letting the floss sit, because the problem, if you're really like winding it with a lot of tension, then your floss is going to be it will leave a mark, you know what I mean? It will be kind of, I don't want to say cut, but I personally, I am a bit afraid of the bobbin making my floss more fragile, or in the places where it's a hard edge on the bobbin. I'm afraid it might break, or just make it a little bit more, I don't know. So yeah, do that until you're done with your skein, and you can see it is pretty fast. I'm not going to I mean, when you have like 150 bobbins to wind, I can see why it is a little bit a little bit annoying to do, but whatever. I'm not, so I don't care. So I'm going to do that with every skein that I have with this color, and we're gonna see each other again. Okay, so I have wound another skein onto this bobbin, and I think that it's getting a little bit too bulky, so I'm just going to leave it like that and put that away for a sec. And if I have this problem, the same problem with like other colors, I might just group them and put a little elastic band around to remember that they're going into the same project, and just put them away, not touch them. And yeah, so basically, yeah, when you're done, then, because my bobbins, when I do my bobbins, you can see that I have cut little slits on both edges, top and bottom edges. This is to just, when you're done, so that it doesn't unwind, I just pull the thread through the slit, and then it holds pretty well. So yeah, here's my suggestions on how to wind your bobbins if you do like using bobbins. I do feel like it's a pretty nice way to store your thread. I'm not saying it is the best, because it all depends on, first, the way that you like how to store your thread. It is pretty personal choice, and the other is really depending on the project. I mean, for me, it isn't too bad. As you can see, I'm only using 26 colors. If you're doing a heaven and earth design, I can completely understand how you would be tired to wind on and on and on your bobbins, and maybe another floss storage method would be more would be more adapted to your situation. So yeah, it is simply a suggestion and simply to show you how I do my start, how I prep. So I'm gonna do all these bobbins and gonna see you after that. Okay, you guys, so I just finished winding my bobbins, and as you can see, they're beautiful. So yeah, and honestly, what I really wanted to show you is that first of all, yeah, I recycled the little plastic bag to store the floss that I could not wind onto my bobbin, so I'm gonna store that, put it away, and if I need any more than what I wound on the bobbins, I'll come back to this bag. I wanted to show you as well. I made a little baggie. I just, yeah, sewed it by hand because it's just a little pouch, you know. So I just used a backstitch to make the little, you know, the opening a little bit more cleaner. And yeah, just made the little baggie so that I can store my bobbins into, like, you can consider it as a project bag. It's just that I don't store my project into the bag. It's just for the bobbins and for the floss card. So I made that as well. Well, sorry, but I only have one hand to unravel it because I'm, yeah, filming with my other hand. So what I did is I took a little piece of Bristol paper. You know, it's kind of cardboardy, but it's not cardboard. It's just a little rigid, you know. And so I took a little perforator. I don't know if it's a word, but you know, to make the holes into the paper. And then I don't even know, like, you put up a loop from, you pull up a loop from the bottom up, and then you can pull up the tail through the loop so that it just attaches like that. And what is very interesting about storing your floss this way is, if you don't know, that you can pull up only one strand of the 6 strands that are in every string of floss very easily when it's stored like that. So it's what I think is interesting. I do know that using this technique isn't for everybody, because when you have, again, if you have 99 colors to store like that, I'd imagine that it might be a little bit tiring at times. So yeah, but if I'm using 26 colors, as I said before, so I mean, it's not that much of a struggle. So as you can see, I just labeled every hole with the color that I'm supposed to store in the hole, and voila. That's basically it. So yeah, I have basically the whole alphabet and A1. I don't know why they missed the Q letter. PR. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this because I was in such a haste. I was in such, like, I was so excited to do it that I just did it and totally forgot to record it. So here it is. Yay, I'm so excited. It is too late tonight to start the project. But I think that tomorrow morning I might record the part about the fabric, and then we'll get the first stitches in. I'm so excited. See you tomorrow, guys. Okay, you guys, I just realized that the whole part that I recorded for prepping your fabric was completely out of frame and basically not usable. So I'm going to record it again and repeat everything that I said, right? So to prep your fabric, you'll need to know how many stitches wide and how many stitches high your final tapestry is going to be. So I'm going to take you to my chart and show you an example. So for example, mine will be 400 stitches wide and 561 stitches high. And because I wanted to use 25 count fabric, which is to mean in centimeters 10 stitches per centimeter, then I need to divide basically the total number, like widthwise, the total number of stitches widthwise by the count of my fabric. So if I'm using 25 count, I have 10 stitches per centimeters, which means that my final tapestry will be 40 centimeters wide and 56 centimeters high, because you divide the total number by your count, right? So why I why I took the 28 count measurements as well is because my fabric, which was supposed to be 25 count, is actually 28. So I don't know what happened. I ordered 25, but I got 28 count. I'm not too mad. I'm going to explain this in the little stitch with me part of the video, but yeah, so basically I cut my fabric according to 25 count, and there you can see the difference, right? For 28 count I have 12 stitches per centimeter, which means that if I divide 400 by 12 I get 33 instead of 40 and 46 instead of 56. So I have a margin of 10 centimeters more, which, I mean, it's basically fabric wasted, which is a bit sad, but you know what, it's too late now. So this is how you calculate how much fabric you need. And when you've cut it to the right size, I usually use a scissor that is, you know, kind of wriggly. I don't know, it's not straight, let's just say that. It prevents the fabric from fraying as much as it would be if it was, like you can see there, for example, it is a clean cut, the threads are coming out, whether that it's just like there is a little bit but it's not full threads, you know. So this is mostly useful. And then when you're done with the cutting, I'd recommend doing something to prevent more fraying while you stitch, because it can be really annoying. And I know that cross stitch purists will probably be mad at me for recommending this, but I personally use masking tape. So it is pretty low quality, which means that it's not as sticky and it comes off really easily without damaging the fabric. And yeah, so you want to apply this like really flat. You don't want any warping of the fabric while you're applying the masking tape. But if you don't like sticking things onto your fabric, I'd recommend maybe using a sewing machine with I don't know what it's called, but you know, yeah, a stitch that will like be around the edge. I don't really know how it's called, I'm sorry, it's not really precise. But yeah, this is still the easiest method that I found, and you know, the less time consuming, and I mean it works fine, so I'm not mad at it. Yeah, that's it. If you're like me and you really like to have ball of random colors of your floss being all around your workspace and stuff, which happened to me a lot when I didn't know any better, you probably like this method that I found. Is it consists in, you know, added bits of like thrifted fabric. So this, I think this is a bed sheet. So yeah, you just need to cut a bunch of stripes um of fabric that you don't use, and put it in between your cross stitch fabric and the frame, like in between the two parts of the frame. And you just need to put a stripe of masking tape on the plasticky thing, and then write all of your symbols. So this is what's in my chart. And then when you have spare threads that you don't want lying around randomly, then you can park it. So I make knots to start my threads, but even if you don't, you can just leave them kind of half like this, just so it's not lost. You know what I mean? It's really practical. I use this all the time now. And yeah, so now your threads are all parked in there on this piece of fabric, just in front of the corresponding symbol, and you're all good to go. So, you guys, now that you have your thread organized, your fabric cut and into the frame, now you need your charts. So basically, I'm just going to show you how I do it, and maybe tell you the other options that you have. So yeah, I personally like download it into a PDF file that I have saved onto my Google Drive. So here it is, isn't it beautiful? Uh, look at all these pages. So yeah, here is my chart. So what I'm gonna do, what I usually do, is screenshot every one of the pages, and then I will upload it into an app that is called Procreate. It is this little icon there. So Procreate is an app, is a painting and drawing app. It is, if you're an artist and you like digital drawing, you have an iPad, like it only works on iOS. If you have an iPad and the Apple Pencil, I would recommend 100%. It is super intuitive, it is really easy to use, and so many possibilities. Like, it is a wonderful art app. But it is like, it is not free. It is 11 or 12 euros, I believe. But I'm not sure, but I think that GoodNotes is basically the same price, but you can do a lot more on this. So I don't know, do what you want. But you don't need a painting app. Basically, you can just print it and mark your chart with a highlighter or a pencil. Like, do it the old way if you like. It is totally fine. If you're comfortable with it, just go at it. I personally use digital means to mark my chart, and you can use basically any PDF reader on which you can draw or, like, you know, write. I don't know how. Maybe just doing a screenshot and then, you know, adding marks on it, maybe that can work. I'm not sure. But yeah, be inventive, be creative with it. I think that, yeah, the most popular choice right now is using Pattern Keeper, which is an app on Android, I believe. And yeah, basically you can upload your chart as a PDF file, and then mark all the squares and stuff. It can, you know, show you where the symbols are and stuff, how many stitches are left. It seems really nice, but it's kind of sad. But the Pixel Stitch website, the PDF files that it generates aren't compatible with Pattern Keeper, so I can't use Pattern Keeper. And because I have Procreate already and realized that I can totally mark my chart on this, I'm not too mad. I can do it on there. So it all depends on how you like to work. I personally park, and I like the diagonal method. So I traced a whole bunch of diagonal lines across my chart, and use another layer. So these are the diagonals, and this is the way this is all this there are all the stitches that I've done. So I just have to tap on the chart on every little symbol. It doesn't work because I might not have. Oh yeah, it works. So I just have to tap on the symbols. This is going wonderfully. I just have to tap on the symbols, and then I set a setting that allows me to do only straight lines, and it is much cleaner. And then I just fill in some areas like that. Very easy. So yeah, that's how I do it. That's it on the chart marking. You absolutely need to mark your chart, guys. Don't underestimate. Okay, it is very helpful, and I tried stitching without marking my chart, and it was a total disaster. So believe me, I've tried. You'll get completely lost if you don't. So I'd really recommend doing it. That's it. Let's get to the stitching. So I removed the little pin to place my needle in the right place, and it is time to stitch. This is my first time stitching on this fabric, so I'm not sure how it's going to work out. I'm sorry this isn't okay. I don't know where I am. Oh, this is going to be a pain. I can't see. I can't see the color of my thread on this fabric. It's going to be fantastic. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that I'm going to need that pin again. I'm gonna mark the top left corner of my first stitch so that I can see it, because it is okay. I'm not even in frame. The color of the thread is so similar to the color of the fabric. I think it's going to be a pain to know where I am. Oh no. Okay. Whatever. We're gonna try. Anyway. I just think that I'm gonna make that pin the other way around. Yeah, like that. Alright, let's try it again, shall we? So I have 5. 6. 7. Can't even see. 8. 9. 10. Oh, I missed a stitch, so I should have 11, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I do. Okay, I missed the 6th stitch that I'm gonna do right now. So 11. I should have 14. So 11. 12. 13. Oh no, lost my thread. Ah, nice. I think that to stitch this color I might be forced to be very close to the fabric to see what I'm doing, because it is really a challenge to do that now. I'm not sure. So I'm going to count again. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And the last one then. And I can't see, I'm making mistakes. 14. There. This fabric is quite nice to work on. It is a shame that I'm starting with a color that I can see. Alright, so I'm gonna do a bit more of that and I'll catch you later. As you can see, we're in front of our new starts, and I've done a whole day of stitching on that, so it doesn't look like much, but I've counted 2,450 stitches done, so that's quite a lot actually. I've discovered some things and I wanted to talk to you about them, so we're gonna jump right in basically. So as you can see, I'm working on the diagonal. I really like it so far because I get to work on several colors at the same time on the same diagonal, and I think that it's like the best technique not to repeat over and over the same color combo. So I'm gonna zoom you in quickly. Is it too much? It's a bit too much. Alright, I think I don't know if it's going to be in frame for long, because yeah, it keeps the frame is so big that it keeps slipping away. I hope it's going to be alright. So yeah, some things happened, guys. First off, when I was stitching this, I was like, it seems weird. It doesn't feel like everything I've done so far. This is supposed to be 25 count, and I feel like the stitches are smaller, and I don't know. I really wasn't. I don't know how I felt really. I was like, it looks good, but it's just not the same. You know what I mean? And then I recounted using my measuring tape. I recounted the count basically of the fabric, and I realized this isn't 25 count. This is why it didn't feel like 25 count. It is 28. So yeah, here's that. It isn't what I ordered, and because I have never worked on 25 count before, I really didn't realize at all that, like, just looking at the fabric that it wasn't 25 count, and I haven't ever worked on 28 count, so that's that's why it felt weird, right? um I don't feel too bad about it being not what I ordered, because I, at first, when I was ordering all the material, I was actually hesitating um between 25 and 28, because I really wanted to try 28, but um I was worried about the bulkiness, and you know, I really just enjoyed working on 25, so I figured that I would stick with what I knew. And yeah, so I'm not too mad because it still looks good and I wanted to try anyway. And especially with the 10 stitch, with the leftover of the fabric, I really wanted to try the 10 stitch, like a full coverage piece in 10 stitch. And I wanted to try 10 stitch sorry, on 28, because I already tried in 25 and it was, I didn't like the coverage that much. I felt like I could see a lot of the fabric, so I really wanted to try it on 28, but I didn't have 28 fabric, 28 count, so now I have. So I'm not too mad. The only problem is that because I calculated the thread estimation and the fabric size like according to 25 counts. Now I realize that I may have ordered way too much thread and cut way too much fabric. So yeah, kind of disappointed about the waste that it might that might ensue. So I don't think that the fabric will be too large, but for the thread, I mean, it isn't wasted anyway. Like, I'm probably going to reuse it. However, I'm still kind of salty about it. I don't know. I'm not gonna complain to the seller because I'm still happy with it. Even though it isn't what I ordered, like, still they made a mistake, but I like it. So I'm confused, guys. But it isn't that bad. The fabric is actually really nice to work on. Um, I don't really know. It probably isn't cotton because the threads, the weave, is kind of shiny. Like when I'm doing pin stitches, I can see all of the tiny fibers. It doesn't feel like even weave, like cotton DMC even weave. It really feels like, kind of like, I don't want to say silk, but you know how silk has tiny fibers and it's kind of shiny, kind of yeah, it feels like that. So maybe it's polyester or something. I don't really know, but still it is really nice to work on. I haven't had any problem so far, and yeah, so actually I'm quite happy with the fact that it is 28 count. I think that the smaller the count, the more realistic the picture might look from afar. So I'm quite pleased with the effect that it's going to be, and yeah, it looks really nice so far. I'm really pleased. So yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't record most of the first stitches, like all the corner that I did there. It's simply because it was so challenging to stitch in the first place, like without recording. I figured that I would just do a stitch with me on another part because it was really hard. And as you can see, the first stitches were in this kind of off-white color, and it was really hard to see what I was doing. So filming more of this would have been really hard. So yeah, and I think the frame is a bit too big for doing the top left corner. Like my arm can barely, under the frame, my arm can barely like be there and work properly. But I'm gonna try anyway. I think I'm going to be way more comfortable when we get to this part. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited about this project anyway. So yeah, that's how my last day is going. It was cool. It was nice to stitch on, really. I'm really excited about the fabric actually, because I believe I should be upset, but I'm happy. Was quite funny because I realized as well that most of the green colors I have the exact same ones for the Hobbit piece. I found that kind of hilarious, and still thought that it was kind of a shame because I should have checked to, you know, now I have two massive pieces that used the same colors. Maybe I should have picked a chart with more variety and like colors that I have nowhere, but it's too late now. And still, I think that even though they are the same colors, they are not used for the same picture, right? So it's completely, it feels completely different. Sorry. But here I was thinking that I almost finished the tree in the Visit Hobbiton piece, and now I'm doing more foliage. It's kind of funny. I'm really excited to get to the bluer parts and the purplish. I think it's going to look so cool. Kind of need to be focused on that one because get away. Because I already made so many mistakes around there. I needed to improvise some stitches, and I don't know why. It was really weird. Like it was like the universe didn't want me to stitch on it. So many mistakes, but I'll try and be a bit more careful. Oh yeah, I must say that because the fibers are a bit more, what am I doing? A bit more noticeable. Like it is very easy to split the weave. That's a bit annoying, but I mean it's just the fabric is like that and I can't do much. So I'm just trying to be extra careful about where I come up and down. This must be a joke, right? The noisy neighbors. Saga continues. Why do my neighbors pick the exact time where I'm filming to pierce walls? It's beyond me.
Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and this prep start with me kind of tutorial demonstration. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed it. That's what matters, and that it might have helped you in any kind of way. If you're a beginner, some of the methods that I use can really help you. And yeah, I don't know what to say anymore. um thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.